Wars usually bring to mind images of fierce battles, heroic soldiers, and massive destruction. But what if I told you that there was a war that lasted longer than the United States has existed, yet not a single shot was fired? This is the bizarre story of the 335 Years' War, a conflict between the Netherlands and a tiny group of islands off the coast of England. A war so forgotten that it only officially ended in 1986. Let's go back to the mid-17th century. It was 1651 and Europe was in chaos. England was engulfed in a brutal civil war between the royalists, who supported King Charles I, and the parliamentarians, led by Oliver Cromwell. By this time, the royalists had been nearly wiped out, with one of their last strongholds being the Isles of Scilly, a small archipelago off the southwestern coast of England. The Isles of Scilly were controlled by royalist privateers who attacked Dutch ships, leading the Netherlands, then a dominant naval power, to take action. Admiral Martin Tromp, a Dutch commander, arrived off the coast of Scilly and demanded compensation for Dutch losses. When the royalists refused, the Netherlands declared war on the Isles of Scilly. But here's where things take a turn for the absurd. Before any actual fighting could happen, the English Civil War ended, and the parliamentarians took control of Scilly. The Dutch, now having no reason to fight, simply sailed away. However, in the chaos of war, nobody bothered to officially declare peace. For centuries, the war remained forgotten, an overlooked footnote in history. No battles, no casualties, just a diplomatic loose end left untied for over 3 centuries. Fast forward to the 20th century. In 1986, historian Roy Duncan, a local from Scilly, came across the strange case of the forgotten war. Curious, he contacted the Dutch embassy to investigate whether the war had ever been formally ended. To everyone's surprise, the Netherlands was still, on paper, at war with the Isles of Scilly. The Dutch ambassador, Rijn Histofaq, traveled to the islands and met with local officials. On April 17, 1986, 335 years after the war began, a peace treaty was finally signed. Histofaq jokingly remarked that it was probably the most peaceful war in history, and just like that, the longest war in history, though entirely bloodless, had officially come to an end. This bizarre story serves as a reminder of how history can sometimes leave behind the strangest of loose ends. Wars can rage for centuries, but sometimes peace is just a matter of remembering to sign the right piece of paper. So next time you hear about a war lasting for decades, just remember, nothing beats the 335 Years' War, the war that was fought entirely on paper, with not a single casualty in sight. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more fascinating historical curiosities.